Call the August meeting of the Rockland Community College Board of Trustees to order. The time is 7:07. Mr. Secretary, will you call the roll?
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Martin Wardendyke.
Here.
Chairperson Mary Dillon. Vice Chair.
Here.
Secretary Grant Valentine. Trustee Mary Ellen Dykstra. Trustee Eliana Eckert.
Here.
Trustee Susan Ramos.
Here.
Trustee Joseph Grant. Trustee Mendel Tarr. Trustee Raphael Frias.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we do have four.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I'd like to start off by welcoming our new student trustee, officially joined the board this evening. His name is Raphael Frias. Welcome, Raphael. We look forward to working with you.
Look forward to it too.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? Okay, I'd like to also take a moment to mention that we lost one of our great friends and trustees last month. And I'd like to have a moment of silence in honor of Dick Voigt, who served for many years and served twice as chairman of this board. So let's take a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, this evening on the consent agenda, we have a number of items, one of which will be pulled out. We discussed these items at our workshop meeting, and we have decided to pull resolution number 6 and wait for the next meeting. Resolution number 2, we will pull out out of the consent agenda and vote on it separately. So I will read the resolutions that we're going to vote on under the consent agenda. The first one is the approval of the previous meeting minutes dated 6/28/2018. Number 2 is the approval of the creation of the position of Vice President of Operations and Strategic Initiatives. This is Resolution 36/2018. Number 3 is the approval of the creation of the position of Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Executive Director of the Rockland Community College Foundation. This is Resolution 37/2018. Number 4 is the approval of the creation of the position of Executive Associate to the Vice President. This is Resolution 38/2018. Number 6 is the approval of amendment to Board of Trustees bylaws. This is Resolution 40/2018. I'm sorry, this resolution will not be voted on tonight. So that will be tabled also.
Motion on 6?
Number 7 on your agenda.
Resolution 4, yes.
So resolution number 5.
No, the resolution numbers are 35.
Right, okay. The approval to nominate Susan Olkers Ramos for the 2018 NYSET Marvin A. Rapp Award for Distinguished Trustee Service. Resolution 39/2018. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
No, remember what
Yeah, the numbers will be adjusted by.
oh, okay.
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Mary Ellen Denone. Second? Second. Susan Ramos. Any discussion, comments? Can I have a motion? All in favor say aye.
Wait, why don't we vote?
The consent agenda.
Yes, with 35 separated, with resolution 35 separated. That's going to be
Resolution 35 is going to be voted on separately.
separately,
That's correct.
okay. And resolution 40 is being tabled for now.
That's correct.
Yes, okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now, we're going to vote separately on another resolution, which is the approval of the meeting participation via video conference. This is Resolution 35, 2018. Can I have a motion to approve? Liliana? Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mary Ellen? Any comments, discussions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye, me.
Please note, Mary Lou Dillon, but Secretary Dillon votes no. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. All right, academic affairs.
You have my written report. I'd just like to make a few other comments. We are very pleased that the NCLEX pass rate for nursing students, January through June, 44 students, was 97.7%, so 98% pass rate on NCLEX. So kudos to our nursing department. The other thing is that you know that 2 years ago we put a 211 connection center on our campus because we found out that 51% of our students were dropping or doing late withdrawals because life was happening. This spring, that number went from 51% to 34%. So that was tremendous. So again, kudos to Joe Falco and the 211 Connection Center. This past May, Dr. Beth Coyle and I attended a breakfast for the Rockland Business Women's Networking. And while we were there, we found out that there were going to be 3 scholarships given out at $1,000 apiece to women who, although different in many respects, shared a drive and ambition to shape the world around them. And we were very, very excited and surprised to hear about one of our own students, a graduate, Rose Fine. And Rose Fine, in the brochure, Rose Fine is graduating from Rockland Community College with an associate's degree in liberal arts. Rose grew up in a Hasidic, ultra-Orthodox community. She left that community and divorced, wanting to give herself and her children more options in life than she had experienced in her own community. As a single mother of 4 children under the age of 13 years, who works full-time, her high academic achievement in the honors program at RCC is quite impressive. Rose has been on the Dean's List and is part of the Phi Sigma Omicron and Phi Theta Kappa honor societies. She will be attending Smith College as a Ada Comstock Scholar and plans to study psychology. So you heard from 2 different students, and that's the reason from these 2 students, whether it's 35 years to graduate or somebody who changes their life, this is what we're all about, and we're very proud of that. So I'm ending my report on that great note. Thank you.
And I have to tell you, I know a little bit about the Adas, and that's terrific. Good for her. Yeah, good for her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Student services. No report. Finance, Mr. Joseph Merriman.
Good evening. You have the statement of activities for the 11 months ended July 31st, 2018. One more month to go and it's already year end. So we have started the process of closing our general ledger for this year in anticipation of the audit. And we'll have a meeting with the auditors before they come in with the audit committee. If you look on page 37, which is our line graph, you'll see that our blue line, which is our revenue, is over our red line, which is expenses. So that's a good thing. So, and I can say this, that with a great deal of confidence, that our revenue, tuition revenue, not only has met our budget, but in some cases exceeded it. So the revenue, the tuition revenue, turned out to be really, really good, which I sort of knew, but I had to wait until I had more information. And in the pie graph, our revenue is about 42% from tuition, and that's going to change a little bit as the sponsorship from the county comes in. So instead of being 42, it'll probably around 37, and the sponsorship right now is 18, now it'll go up to 26. So it's what the budget calls for. And on our expense side, you know, salaries are 56%, and fringe benefits about 32% of our expenses, which is about 88%, which is what we anticipated. And I think the expenses will be right on target. Which is, most of it is in our control, but we'll see what the county comes up with. Our health cost is the one that I'm still concerned about. The final bills haven't come in yet. Other than that,
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just wanted to comment, Joe, I'm really happy that you were able to do all these nice graphs for me. I love them. And it's just whenever I get this in the monthly and I see your graphs, I just know that you take a lot of extra time because there's so many pages here of so many numbers. And I know I've asked you or other people in the past, can you give us something that just is right there? And you have far exceeded that, and I just really appreciate it. It's right there in front of me, it answers all my questions, and I wanted to thank you very much.
no, you're welcome.
Thank you.
My job is to give you guys the overview and to give you exceptions. So there's your overview, top executive, overview, and you could just say, oh, what's going on here? And I can drill
I
down.
appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Operations, COO, Dr. Coyle.
Hi, you all have a copy of my report, but there are a few things that I'd like to highlight for you. One is that we had two major staff appointments within the operations area. Raquel Morian is now appointed as our interim human resources director. She's got lots of experience in human resources, having spent most recently 6 years at SUNY Downstate, so she does have SUNY experience. She served as Chief Human Resources Officer there as well as Human Resources Director in that role. She is going to do a great job helping to move us from more of a personnel office to having more of the human resources function that we need. Also joining us, Mr. Eric Foote, who is our new Physical Plant Director. Eric comes to us with more than 20 years of experience in the physical plant and capital improvement background. He's also a graduate of SUNY Maritime, but he worked most recently at Columbia University in a consulting role and spent many years prior to that at Pfizer locally in Pearl River. Also, we have a number of capital planning and construction projects underway. I'm sure you've seen some of the fence work up as we work on green roof repairs. We're still working on the Nyack Culinary Center. The field house generator project to get that field house completely operable as the emergency shelter for the county. And we're continuing our work with ecosystems for our energy performance contract. And finally, of note, the RCC Association, while it's not part of the college directly, it will impact the campus community because we've signed a new food service agreement with Lessings. So beginning in just 2 days, we will have Lessings up and running and a brand new food service operation that will benefit our entire campus community and those who are visiting.
Thank you. Any questions? I'd like to just say that the student government will be very happy. They've been after the food service people for years.
Well, the students were very much involved with the process of selecting Lessings as well.
Good. Excellent, thank you. Mr. Secretary, do you have anything to report?
I would just like to read a resolution, Mr. Chairman, okay? Resolution number 39-2018, dated August 30th, 2018, to the Board of Trustees from Dr. Michael A. Basson, President. Approval to nominate Susan Elkers Ramos for the 2018 NYSEG Marvin A. Rapp Award for Distinguished Trustee Service. Whereas New York Community College Trustee Association has established a Nice and Marvin A. Rapp Award for Distinguished Trustee Service. And whereas Susan O'Elkers Ramos has served as a Rockland Community College trustee since 2004. And whereas during that time, she has provided steadfast philanthropic support, used her extensive experience as an entrepreneur to make RCC a better place for students and a respected institution within the community. And whereas Ms. Ramos is a longtime resident of Rockland Community College, serves as a board member for the Rockland Community College Foundation, and is the board trustee liaison to the RCC Foundation Board of Directors. Is a participant in the RCC's present Emerging Leaders Program, helping students engage in entrepreneurship, is a member of the Stony Point Lions Club, the Rockland Economic Development Corporation, and the Rockland Business Association. Therefore, be it resolved that the Rockland Community College Board of Trustees nominate Susan Ramos for the 2018 Nicest Marvin A. Rapp Award for Distinguished Trustee Service.
Excellent.
She will receive her award on September 22nd in Saratoga Springs, New York. So if anybody can make it, get there.
So we'll take someone has to make a motion to accept this.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? There be it done? So moved.
Nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Can I just say, just for a second, for those of you that don't know Susan, she is without doubt one of the kindest and most generous people to this campus. She never, ever, ever puts herself first, or puts herself out there. She's just, you have no idea the kindnesses that she has extended to students on this campus. You really don't know. So, good for you.
She's an extraordinary individual, extraordinary.
She's so modest.
We're so
Yeah,
It's
she
okay,
is.
babe. You're a hero. Turn around. You're great.
She's extraordinary. She's
Yes,
You
she
are.
really is.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you. Well deserved.
It's okay to cry. It's all right.
Thank you, Secretary Grant. Okay, NICET report.
Oh, that's me, I'm sorry. We have our NICET conference in September, where Susan will be recognized at the dinner that night. And there was talk of having a regional institute in the lower Hudson Valley. It was supposed to be at the end of August. Can't get much closer to the end of August than now, and I haven't heard any details from it, so I'm just telling you what I know so far. That's it.
Any questions? Thank you. I think our new student government representative to the board will have his first report at the next meeting.
So indeed.
Thank you. Okay, any old or new business? Any announcements? Okay, I'd like to just remind everyone that on 9/12/18, we have the gala for the inauguration, which will be at 6 p.m. at the Hilton in Pearl River. And on the 13th, we have the inaugural ceremony, which begins with a luncheon at 11:30. And the inauguration itself begins at 2 p.m. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. It's going to be a great event. Okay, any other old or new business?
And anyone, and I believe that each trustee got a phone call from Eileen asking about our attendance at each of the events. Is that correct? Everybody got that phone call about whether or not we'd be there, so Eileen should know.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn. Susan?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.